This video is to help teachers see how to categorize their grades, how to category weight their grades. Um, I'm Ms. Rivera, and I'm accompanied by Ms. Ruiz and Mr. Sanchez, who are setting up their math classes. So first, we've got to go to after logging into PowerSchool, go to PowerTeacher Pro. Once we're there, we have the opportunity to, in our grading, go to categories. This is the place where you're going to make sure that you have listed the types of categories that you would like. Notice that these are all category names that have been created by the district. But let's just say I wanted to create something like I have an interactive notebook. Let's act as if I have an interactive notebook. I'm going to go to Create, Category, and I'm going to create an interactive math notebook, and it's for all of my classes. Okay, so I'm going to choose all of my classes for semester 1 and maybe even semester 2 because it's a year-long notebook, and I'm not going to create it for advisory because we shouldn't be giving grades in advisory. It's not a graded class. Then I'm going to click. If I wanted to, I just want to show you really quickly. If I wanted to, I could describe this interactive notebook. And I could even include a link because this is some rich text box. I'm going to hit save. Oh, that's funny. Delete that. I'm going to describe it right here. I don't have to do that, of course. And notice here, some of these will say active or inactive. If it's inactive, it's not being used for your current classes. So if there's a huge list and you don't want it to show, you would just choose inactive. Let's say you don't want quizzes as one of your categories. You can choose inactive. So I'm going to hit save. Okay, so notice that this is assigned to now all of my classes. Now, once I have all of these, I'm going to have some classwork, some homework, some projects, quizzes, tests, interactive math notebooks. I'm going to go to settings, okay? When I go to settings, I'm going to go to traditional grade calculations. This is a little labor intensive at the beginning of any semester. You have to do this for every class for every semester, so it's a little cumbersome. Notice here where it says G1 total points. I'm going to go over here to the edit. I know that it's grading on total points and not as a category weighting. So I'm going to go to category weighting here, and the first category is classwork. Don't worry about the percentages yet. I'm going to go to category weighting here again. I'm going to add one over here because I'm going to have like 5 or 6 categories. Maybe you only have 4. Maybe you only have 2. However many you have, make sure that you have assignments for each category in that grading period, because if you don't, the percentages are obviously off, right? So let's say you didn't give a test. Well, that's 20% of the grade, so everything else begins to like account for it. It's a little mathy for me, but here we go. Right now, the default is that everything is graded at 2020, 2020 because it's equal weighting. But I really, Ms. Ruiz, how much do you want classwork to be worth? Classwork.
15%.
So let's say that's 15%. Notice what happens when I put that in. That's now weighted 15, and that's 7 because it's multiplying it by 15. So it's changing the percentages over here. Don't worry about that yet. We haven't hit save. What about homework?
Same.
15%. Okay. What about projects?
Project.
Or is this your interactive notebook? Sure, Lacey. Okay. How much do you want? Let's go backwards. Maybe you want to talk about tests. How much do you want tests to be worth?
30%.
30%. Okay. And what about quizzes?
Quizzes, 20%.
Okay. 20%. Okay. So now we've got 15. Uh-oh, I did something wrong here. That's 50%. That's 30%. So is this going to be worth 20%? Okay. Notice the way that I know that I've done this right, because I'm not really a mathy person, is that this is equal to this column. Okay. I'm going to hit save. And now when I create an assignment, this is privileged student information from this point on. But like if I were to create an assignment, oh, maybe not. We won't even go there. I'm going to create an assignment. And when I create the assignment, I'm choosing the category, really important notebook, check. Guys, if you're not using this box down here to describe, you really should. It helps the advisor out. It helps the parents out. It really helps the students out to know, like, this is a notebook check from the first 2 weeks worth of notes. See Canvas for details, okay? Then I'm going to put interactive math notebook, and I'm going to put however many points. So I can do all of that here. I've got my category grades set up. I'm going to hit save. Actually, I'm not, because this is a live grade book and kids get scared. So I'm going to discard. And that's how you set up category weighting. But look, category weighting set up for G1, not G2 or G3. I have to set up every grading period for every class. Questions?
So to get to this window, all you do is click on this class.
So remember, I was at Power Teacher Pro. Thank you, ladies. Okay. And then I went to grading to make sure that I had all the categories set up beforehand. And then I went to settings. So to get to that, to answer your question, I go to traditional grade calculations. And there is where I set
And
them.
I go
So
to
I can
category
tell
weighting.
that I still better set up G2 and I still better set up G3. By the way, teachers, you're the only ones with access to this part of your grade book. So you have to set it up if this is how you're choosing to do it. No one can do it for you. I can help though. If you need help, send
Why
me an
would you
email.
need total points?
Total points is a different style of
Oh,
grading.
okay. I want
right?
category weighting. Yeah, what
Yeah.
you described, that's what I want. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have a good day.